My favorite course as an undergraduate was my mathematical logic course my senior year. The instructor, Dr. Langton, was amazing. He was passionate and excited about mathematics. He gave good, clear lectures. He listened to the students and made us feel excited to learn this material. He answered our questions, was patient. He even got to know all the names of the students in the course. Granted, this last one wasn't the big accomplishment you might think it is, given that there was 2 of us in the course. Sarah, Matt. Shortly thereafter, I got my opportunity to teach my own course. I taught a pre-calculus course of 35 students. I was excited and passionate to inspire these students the way Dr. Langton had inspired me. I carefully prepared my lectures. I lectured, they listened, I gave tests, they took them. I stayed on my side of the room, they stayed on theirs. Overall, the course went just fine. I think some of them learned some pre-calculus. I don't think anyone was dramatically inspired by my lectures on solving linear equations, simplifying radical expressions, etc. Since that time, I think I've really grown as an instructor. I've had about 10 years of teaching experience now, and that traditional lecture format has worked quite well for me. I've even taught larger classes, growing from 35 to 100, 200, 250, and that same lecture style has worked all right for me. Recently, however, I got the opportunity to do something new with my teaching. I got asked to design an online course. My colleague, Dr. Rachel Lehman, and I put together an online pre-calculus course for UC-Irvine. This course entailed some online video lectures, some course assignments, and online office hours where students could interact via an online whiteboard with the instructor, ask questions, get feedback, and even online exams with online proctoring through a webcam. We put together some videos for these classes. The videos entailed lots of different things, some being silly, some just showing examples of what mathematics is all about, giving students the passion, the reason behind why is mathematics interesting. And we've run that online course now for 4 quarters, and although it's continuing to evolve and we're trying to improve it to make the student experience good, I think we're getting there. I think we're getting something that the students find exciting. Well, recently, we got asked to convert this online pre-calculus course for UCI students into a MOOC. For those of you not familiar with it, MOOC stands for a Massive Open Online Course. For those of you familiar with MMOs, MMOs are massively multiplayer online games, such as World of Warcraft. Well, a MOOC is to education what an MMO is to games. These MOOCs are offered through a variety of platforms. Coursera, Udacity, edX are some of the major ones. And they're basically a synchronous real-time class where students around the world take the same course at the same time, and the large size is managed through things like collaborative discussions, automated grading, etc. Well, teaching this massive audience was daunting. To give you some idea, in a typical quarter at UC-Irvine, the mathematics department teaches about 4,000 undergraduate students. So in our online MOOC class, we had 82,000 students. That is equivalent to the number of students taught by the entire mathematics faculty at UC-Irvine in 7 years. So in 10 weeks, Dr. Lehman and I taught the equivalent of 7 years worth of teaching from my faculty of 40 in my department. This online audience was something I wasn't quite ready for. We put together our class. We happened to work with the Coursera platform. Coursera's motto is that they provide the world's best courses online for free. No pressure, right? We just had to offer the world's best course. That's all. And in fact, we were offering 2 of them, algebra and a pre-calculus. You may ask, what do the students get out of this? The students are really doing these courses just for the learning experience. All they get when they complete the course is a statement of accomplishment, or if they do really well, a statement of accomplishment with distinction. Our class was kind of unique in that we got certified for ACE credit. For the first time, the American Council on Education certified 5 MOOC courses to receive college credit. About 7,000 colleges and universities in the US offer students credit for completing these courses with 8th certification. Well, anyways, we got to work. We put our course together, and then it launched. And it was rocky. Things did not go smoothly at all. The quizzes went live with lots of errors. We had seen these errors. We had corrected these errors. We had saved these errors. We neglected to click publish. So although we'd found the errors, they still went live, and we had to frantically scramble with 82,000 people telling us we messed up and try to fix these. The other thing we weren't expecting was the harsh critique of a worldwide audience. We put up these videos, and they thought they were cheesy. They thought they were robotic. They didn't like our accents. We got told we talked like Valley Girls. And I totally can't imagine what they're talking about, for sure. But anyways, once we got past the initial rockiness, the really neat stuff began to happen. It was so exciting to see the students talking to each other. We had these discussion forums. The students were asking great questions about mathematics and answering them and bringing up exciting, interesting things about that I hadn't even thought about. I was really impressed that there were students from around the world who were taking this course that clearly already knew the material and were just there to answer other people's questions. They wanted to help the learning process. The worldwide audience was also amazing. We got to see students from all around the world talking mathematics. In the discussion forums, they were talking in Greek. They were setting up study groups in Portugal. There were students from all walks of life. We had a 9-year-old who had exhausted the curriculum at her school and was taking this mathematics course to enrich herself. We had a 90-year-old who regretted never getting to calculus and was taking the pre-calc class in hopes of getting to take calculus soon. These experiences were really rich, really rewarding, and made me rethink how I think about teaching as an instructor. What did I learn about teaching from my MOOC? Well, first of all, students can and will help each other if given a forum. They were there, they were answering each other's questions, the learners were becoming the teachers. It was fantastic. The ability to pause and replay lecture is amazing. When I teach my classes, my students can't pause if they didn't understand something I say. They can't rewind me. I'm just going. Having these video lectures was great. Another thing is, a good lecture isn't quite enough. The learning happens by doing. The students who just watched the videos and then tried to take the final exam didn't do particularly well. Whereas the students who were in there, in the discussion forums, talking about the math, doing the assignments, practicing the material, really did well. Well, after this experience teaching these 82,000 students, once I got down from all the emails and the conflict, I started to think, well, what can I do to use this to improve my own classes? And that brings me to flipping the classroom. Flipping the classroom is an instructional technique that's kind of been named recently, but the idea goes way back. The idea of flipping the classroom is simple. Normally, students come to class, they hear a lecture, and then they go home and try some problems and practice the work. If you want to flip the classroom, you do the opposite. Before coming to class, students watch a lecture video online. They come to class then knowing what the main idea is, what are the basics, and ready to practice. And they're able to practice in an environment where their classmates are there, ready to answer questions, and their teacher is there, ready to provide that expert guide. So rather than struggling with the material on their own, they have the expert there who can correct them and help them and answer their questions in real time, rather than spend hours practicing on their own, incorrectly perhaps. Well, this experience, teaching a flipped class, has been exciting for me. I find I'm getting to talk with my students rather than at them. I know where they're having trouble with, and I can try to fix it real time. Even in a class of 250 students, I feel like I'm really getting to know them. So teaching the MOOC has taught me to take my class of 250 and make it feel much, much more like that class of 2 students with Dr. Langton, where I was really able to work with him, get inspired by him, get that real feedback, that sense of learning and excitement that comes with it. So recently, we've gotten a little bit of press because our class was one of these 5 ACE-accredited courses with our MOOC. I got a call early one morning from a BBC reporter. And he was doing a story on MOOCs, and one of the questions he asked me was, how do university faculty feel the standard educational model should change based on MOOCs? Big question, right? As far as I know, I haven't been appointed Supreme Queen of University faculty who speaks on their behalf, so I declined to answer his question. However, I think it is a really good one. What is the meaning of a college degree versus a set of online MOOC courses? If one instructor can teach 10,000 students, what does classroom learning mean? How can MOOC teaching be used to reduce the cost of a college education? These are interesting questions. If I can be replaced by a set of videos and automated assignments, I don't think I'm doing my job as an educator. The emergence of these online technologies makes a lot of new things possible. I invite you to consider what you think about these issues. I, for one, am very excited to see what the classroom of tomorrow looks like and how these technologies will be able to enhance our online learning and in-classroom learning. Thank you.